So now you have the Bengals and the Rams facing off in the Super Bowl. Now let's talk about these two teams. First of all, the Rams, I predicted that they'd be at the beginning of the season. I don't want them to be here, but they're here. And the reason why I said it is because they're building a super team, basically. You know, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that able to work with the cap space, still able to build kind of a super team, right? They gave up their future for the win now mentality, basically. And so far, it looks like it has the possibility of working out. They're one win away from a Super Bowl championship. The Bengals, on the other hand, extremely young, completely under the cap space for the offseason, and they can only get better.
Yeah. The Rams have a great chance of getting worse every single year.
This is the Rams' last chance. The Bengals, I guarantee you, even if they win this or lose this one, I'll say this now, and you can check me in 5 years, 10 years, but the Bengals are going to be the new dynasty.
Officially?
I think so. I think they're going to start becoming annoying like the Patriots are annoying, type thing. Imagine Joe Burrow with a good O-line.
All he need
that already changes the offense.
Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase alone already.
That already changes the offense.
That's already a dynasty right there.
That already changes the offense, right? Then you have T Higgins, you have Tyler Boyd who's still in the contract. Then you go into the defense, you have a young Jesse Bates,
and
Trey Hendrickson. You know, there's guys to build around, and you have cap room, and you haven't given up any of your draft picks.
Only get better from here.
You can only get better from here.
So
they are way ahead of their time.
It's a battle of the youngins versus the OGs.
Yep.
Because the Rams are not a young team.
No, and you got a quarterback in Matthew Stafford, who this could be one of his last chances to really get his ring. Aaron Donald, you don't know how many more chances Aaron Donald's going to get. An NFL legend, quite possibly, arguably one of the best defensive players ever.
Von Miller is definitely on his way out.
Yeah.
He probably got 3 years maximum.
I think so. I'd say 3 to 4. OBJ, you don't know how many years he's going to get, a chance he's going to get to a Super Bowl.
Jalen Ramsey probably got 5 or 6.
Jalen Ramsey still got prime years, but again, he's strapped to a long-term contract with the Rams, and we don't know how long this Rams team is going to stick together.
He probably has 2 or 3 years in his prime, and then he'll start to diminish, I would predict.
Okay, I'd give it a little more, but yeah. So either way, you have a Bengals team who's way ahead of their time right now, way ahead of schedule, and you have a Rams team with the clock is running right now. This is it. You need this. But the Bengals, one thing about this is I love about this Bengals team is despite these situations, I want to make the argument that the Rams wanted more than the Bengals. Because this young team is confident, feisty, shiesty, and just all of the above.
I like Evan McPherson too.
Yeah.
He's been going on media and stuff. I like the way that he talks. He's very confident. He talks about how he wants to break Adam Vinatieri's records, and he thinks he is going to beat it.
Yeah.
And you already know that he knows. We're down by 2. We're down by 1.
Looks like we're winning.
Looks like we're going to the championship, baby.
Yes, and it goes to the point. First of all, for a kicker, the best part that you can have about a kicker is confidence. Because if he's confident that even in those big moments he's going to win this game, that's all you need. But really, the best part too about this team is it's not just the kicker that's confident. It's the defense. It's the offense. They're confident that they're just the best team in football despite all the underdog mentalities that's been given to them. They think and they know that they're the best team in football. And they have a chance to prove it this next Sunday. So let's compare. We're not going to go fully into our predictions, but let's just compare these teams. Now I'm listing out each position and seeing which side is better than the other.
Okay.
All right? So when you compare it all, top to bottom, defense, offense, let's look at it all. Now, do you want to start positions or do you want to start full team?
Let's just do the positions.
You want to do the positions? All right, well, let's do the positions then, man. So the first one, quarterback. Matthew Stafford versus Joe Burrow. Count it all, playoffs, regular season. Who do you think is the better right now?
Joe Burrow.
Why?
I say Joe Burrow because I feel like he moves a little better. Yes, Matthew Stafford, this is the thing about Matthew Stafford. He's very tough. Even in his last game against the Niners, he's limping. and you can't even tell in the middle of a play that he literally can't walk. So I like the toughness that he plays with. But the talent that they have at this moment, I think Joe Burrow does. But there's an interesting thing about this. This is the Super Bowl. Veteran presence is going to matter a little more. So in this game, I could see Matthew Stafford playing better.
Remember though, Matthew Stafford's never played in a Super Bowl.
I understand, but he's been in the NFL a lot longer, so I think he has a better chance than Joe Burrow does to be a little more used to this. But
that being said, you still have Burrow?
I think Joe Burrow is more talented than Matthew Stafford.
Okay. I'm going to go with Stafford for kind of reasons that you already said. About him being a veteran, being in big situations before, throughout his entire career now. Also, he's outplayed Burrow in this playoffs. I know Joe Burrow has had a great playoffs, and he's kind of like the main talking point throughout their Bengals' entire playoff run. But the Bengals' defense needs to be credited as well as, well, just actually the defense, my bad, just the entire defense. I didn't want to add anything more to it. The Bengals' defense, they made Tannehill, they forced 3 interceptions out of Tannehill, forced 2 out of Mahomes, and forced 1 out of Derek Carr to end that other playoff game as well. It's not like Joe Burrow has been having an incredible playoff run. You know, he's had ups and downs. I think he's thrown 4 touchdowns to 1 interception, right, throughout these playoffs. But Matthew Stafford, on the other hand, has been playing far more consistently. Far more consistently.
You could debate that, I would say. I just think that Joe Burrow...
I mean, Matthew Stafford right now has the most yards in a game, and he's 6-1 in touchdown-interception ratio in the playoffs.
I just think that if Joe Burrow plays bad, the Bengals, they don't really have a chance to really win the game.
Obviously. But I think you can say the same for the Rams.
I think they got a better chance with their defense.
See, that's where I just mentioned it, though. I think this Bengals defense is extremely underrated with how well they're playing. Remember, they just shut down Mahomes in that second half. I know we want to say that the Chiefs also choked, but when it happens twice to the same team, it's not even a coincidence. The Bengals, they can make great second half adjustments with their defense and their D coordinator. But overall, I think Matthew Stafford is playing better at the QB position. Now, this is the hard one. I struggled thinking about this one. Wide receiver position. And we're not talking about 1 versus 1 like Jamar Chase versus Cooper Kupp. The entire receiving core of the Bengals versus the Rams receiving core. Who is the better receiving core? Now, OBJ just had his first 100-yard game in a long time.
Yeah.
And looked good.
This is the interesting part about it. So, I kind of got to do the little matchups and see who wins.
Okay.
Right? So, we got Cooper Kupp versus Jamar Chase. I don't even know who I want to put on that. So, I'm just going to even that out.
You're going to even that out.
OBJ versus T Higgins. I'm going to go with OBJ.
Okay.
T Higgins is a little bit different of a receiver. I think OBJ is more likely to be a wide receiver 1. That's where I go OBJ.
Okay.
But Tyler Boyd to Van Jefferson, I'm going to have to go with Tyler Boyd.
I would too.
So, the difficult part about that is now that I'm thinking about receivers, who's throwing them the ball, who's going to get utilized a little more.
Who you got?
I got the Bengals.
Okay. I have the Bengals as well. I have it because I have Cooper Kupp winning over Jamar Chase. While I know it... First of all,
it's very close.
It's hard because it's 2 top 5 receivers in this league going at it right now, right? But the reason I want to go with Cooper Kupp is, first of all, he's the best receiver in the league. He is. I remember I've defended Devontae Adams, but what he's done now in the playoffs as well, it wasn't no fluke what he's doing. He's a triple crown. He's a triple crown receiver for a reason.
Yeah.
He was lining up our Niners secondary. He's lining up the Buccaneers secondary. He was doing his thing against the Cardinals.
I think Cooper Kupp is the best, but Devontae is more talented than he is.
Definitely. But Cooper Kupp is just more efficient. You know, route running, his ability to get open, great hands, tough catches that he can make. He is the best receiver in the league. He's a triple crown winner for a reason. So I have him over Chase. But then I have T Higgins and Tyler Boyd for the other 2. And I have T Higgins because even in this AFC Championship game, he had so many huge catches against this Kansas City defense.
He did.
When Jamar Chase was covered, T Higgins was that next best option. And then you have Tyler Boyd, who's just a better receiver 3 than Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
So I do have the Bengals.
Okay.
Next is running back. I don't think it's hard.
I don't think it's that. Cam Akers is actually pretty good. He actually has been playing very well.
He's been playing very well, but
He's been injured. He hasn't really shown that much. You got to go with Joe Mixon.
who's a top 5 running back in this league.
Big step.
Now next, this is also an easy one. O-line. Rams.
Oh, Bengals for sure. The Rams.
Rams. We know that this Bengals O-line is the worst in the NFL.
Trash.
And it's going to be interesting because when we talk about D-line here, who's the better D-line?
Bengals. Aaron Donald
The Rams.
and Von Miller are going to destroy
Leonard
them.
Floyd.
Leonard Floyd as well.
That's 3 apex
They will start on any
defensive
team.
linemen. Yeah, they can
All
start
three
on
of
any
them
team.
will start on any team.
Yep, and dominate. So that's the interesting matchup, and that could be the defining matchup right there. If Joe Burrow gets
That
sacked
could lose the
9
Bengals this game.
because if Joe Burrow gets sacked 9 times, it's not going to be the same as getting sacked 9 times versus the Titans.
Mm-mm.
This is a Rams offense that's really good.
They can move the ball a
They can
little
move
quicker.
it. Exactly. Now, cornerback. I have the Rams as well.
It's definitely the Rams.
Jalen Ramsey,
Jalen Ramsey is the best in the league. Who else can compete with him?
and I'd argue that Darius Williams is better than, if you want to say, Eli.
All of them. He's better than all of them.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Cheeto too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then you go to safety. I think you already know who I'm going with. I'm going with the Bengals. But would you be one to disagree? Because I don't think the Rams are...
They don't have anybody. It's the Bengals.
It's the Bengals.
Eric Weddle is a little too old. He's not that fast anymore. He's not really that much of a ball hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Bates is way better.
Yep. And then finally the linebacker spot.
This has got to be the Rams.
I'm going to have to 100 wholeheartedly disagree with you. It's the Bengals. Logan Wilson, Pratt, almost leading the playoffs in tackles. They are aggressive. They are young, and they are fast. I know they have Reader, who looked good for the Rams.
That's the
but
only
that's
thing.
it.
I just remember what I saw last week, and I saw Reader just going crazy.
Yep.
So it might be recency bias.
I do think this Rams linebacker core is definitely one of the weaker aspects of this team.
It is.
And then special teams, it's really 50-50 in a sense, because I think they're both just, they're not like
Neither team really.
top tier special teams.
No.
But I have to go Bengals. And I'm doing that because I know Gay is the one who's going to the Pro Bowl as a kicker. But as of late, he's missed a lot of key field goals.
Gotta go with Bengals because of McPherson.
McPherson.
Got to.
They're confident. They have a kicker that they know they can trust.
And it might come down to, I could very easily see this Super Bowl going down to the last possession. Evan McPherson.
The key, though, is this. I know Cincinnati, I think on both of our lists, have more listed out than the Rams when you go position to position. But that key of the game is going to be O-line versus D-line.
That's the biggest thing in all of football.
It is.
If your O-line loses every single rep.
Which is amazing that the Bengals are even here in the first place, if we really think about it.
Shows how amazing Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are.
And how much better they're going to get. Because we know they're going to get an O-lineman in the draft. They have cap to get an O-lineman possibly in free agency as well.
This is going to be crazy.
This is going to be a team that's going to be... They're going to start getting annoying. It's going to start getting annoying seeing them there every year. Trust me. But I'm not going to make my prediction yet. But I know it's a trip that the Bengals are here. But I also don't want to keep down. I've doubted them, and I've doubted them, and I've doubted them, and I've doubted them. And I don't know if I can doubt on them this time against the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Dude, Drew, I completely forgot about this. This is going to be the best matchup of the season. Jalen Ramsey can actually line up on Jamar Chase. If they don't do that, if Jamar Chase isn't lined up on Jalen Ramsey, I'm going to be pissed off.
See, that's the difference,
That's
too.
a must-watch TV.
That's the difference, too. Yeah, the rookie and Jamar Chase, can he handle going against the best corner in the league? So, the odds don't point in the Bengals' direction, but when have they ever this season?
Everyone thought the Chiefs were going to win.
Yeah. When have they ever pointed to the side of the Bengals, and the Bengals have yet continued to surprise us every single turn? And this is a fun quarterback matchup. I can't be upset if I know I'm upset about because I don't like the Rams, the division rivals and all.
But you like Matthew Stafford.
But I like Matthew Stafford, and I've been vouching for Matthew Stafford since he's been in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing this run for him is nice.
Happy for Matt. I think there's a lot of players that deserve a ring in this.
Yeah.
I want to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They literally have won every single year that they've ever played football. I want to see Aaron Donald win a ring.
They will get one.
I want to see Aaron Donald win a ring. Jalen Ramsey deserves a ring. And we know Matthew Stafford.
Yes.
He definitely deserves one. So this is very interesting. And OBJ. This would be a great story for OBJ.
Yep.
I'm very interested to see what we have in this Super Bowl, man. It's going to be a great Super Bowl, too. It's in L.A.
It is.
Hometown game. There's a bunch of L.A. rappers.
Oh, yeah, the good halftime show as well.
Snoop Dogg.
Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar.
This is going to be an interesting...
It should be a good Super Bowl. Hopefully it lives up to the hype. Again, we can say it, but we said this about the Bengals a lot. There's a chance that the Bengals get blown out in this game. There is. There's a chance that this game could get out of hand.
Because they're so young, man. They're not.
And they don't match. It doesn't look like they match up well on paper. But at this point, man, I can't believe that. Because they've continued to surprise us at every single turn. So for me to say that they don't have a chance against the Rams would just be disrespectful.
So you don't have a pick?
I don't have a pick yet. I want to think about it.
I'm going with the Rams.
Oh, you're going to give me a pick right now?
I'm going to give my pick right now. I'm going with the Rams. 100% the Rams. Jalen Ramsey is going to lock down Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow is going to be scrambling around like he's a chicken with his head cut off. He's going to look very similar to the Chiefs versus the Bucks when Patrick Mahomes was running around the entire time because his O-line could not protect him.
Oh, wow. We'll see how it all unfolds next Sunday. Also, next week we will be, because the NFL Honors, we'll be doing our episode of our award predictions and how everything turned out. We'll also be talking about our early season predictions and see how they all turned out as well.
Derek Carr's MVP of the league, man.
That did not work out, did that?
Nah, I didn't.
But either way, it has been a very fun episode, a very fun NFL season, and we can't wait to see how it unfolds next week. So, I'm your host, Alejandro Flores.
I'm your host, Travis Dampier Jr. on the Day of Low, you know what I'm saying? And make sure you hit that like button. Also leave a comment. Let me know who you got in the Super Bowl. We'll ask you again next week, too.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in.
Lucios.